Okay, continue to read R. Murray Schafer's 1969 book, The New Soundscape. We're on page 3. Students will perhaps be trained to describe, in music terms, the exact frequencies or frequency bands rather than in limited nomenclature of the tonal systems. Dynamics, too, might be better described in relation to some standard reference such as the fon, loudness, or the decibel, intensity, rather than in the terms of a few ancient Italian intuitions on the subject. Okay, so I have a rough time conceptualizing things. That doesn't mean that kids won't be, but sometimes when we have too many options, right? Like, can you hear A and just call it a 440 or 880? A computer definitely can, but can a person? Can a person use these more specific descriptions? And I don't know, 1969 we probably didn't know, but but maybe now we do. I don't know. I think that continuing to use traditional music nomenclature, even though it's limited, or maybe because it's limited, means that we can add a level of description to things that we record and set up computer systems to measure. Continuing on. The psychology and physiology of oral pattern perception will supersede many former musical studies in which musical surroundings were rendered mute by paper exercises. Traditional theory books deny all life to sounds, considering them as stationary cadavers. Ultimately, somewhere, work might begin on the much-needed history of oral perception to show us how different periods of musical cultures actually hear different things when listening to music. And yeah, Schafer's book, which comes out maybe 10 years after this, does some of this. So he's lining up just his future work. And obviously there was already a lot on psychology and physiology of music at this point already. But obviously there's a lot more fMRIs, EKGs, right? Different tools that psychologists at universities use in their research. One of the purposes of this booklet is to direct the ear of the listener towards the new soundscape of contemporary life, to acquaint him with a vocabulary of sounds he may expect to hear both inside and outside the concert halls. Okay, so descriptive. I would recommend everybody today take some time, go outside, listen. What are the sounds you hear? What are the good ones? What are the bad ones? The ongoing symphony of life. So we're going to get a vocabulary of sounds in this book. It may be that he will not like all the tunes of this new music. Might not like the sound of the construction going on, right? Or the airplane flying overhead, or Tesla's latest low-flying satellite falling out of the sky. It may be that he will not like all the tunes of this new music. Call those noise. And that, too, will be good. For together, with other forms of pollution, the sound sewage of our contemporary environment is unprecedented in human history. Yeah, sound sewage. I don't know if that's, I like that. I read the word noise written there, but sound sewage, I think we could definitely call a lot of what we're exposed to, even the stuff we call music sometimes, is sound sewage. This brings me, but it was then too. This brings me to my other purpose. In recent years, the science of medicine has seen dramatic shift in emphasis from curing of disease to its prevention. Okay, so this is a common thing for that generation. Some of the people still alive, like David Elliott, maybe a little bit younger, went to medicine to think, ooh, music educators should be like medicine. But you look at the professionalization where it got doctors, where they have to turn over patients 10 minutes at a time all day, end up staying way after work, going in way late. I don't know that it is a good model for what we want to be as teachers. It's a different thing, but it was definitely popular in that generation to say we want our profession to be the same profession models, use the same type of flow charts, the same narrowness of what you're allowed to say. But I don't think that they were looking at those things. They were probably just looking at the money. Want to be able to drive a Bentley around. The shift is so pronounced that the term preventative medicine needs no explanation. I am about to suggest that the time has come in the development of music that we will have to be concerned with the prevention of sounds as a production. So how do we do that? I had that written down from last time too, right? The prevention of sounds, but how? How do we pull off the prevention of sounds? Do we really have that kind of control as teachers? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe this is being written for whoever owns, Geffen Records or whatever. Observing the world's sonograph, the new music educator will encourage these sounds salubrious to human life and will rage against those inimical to it. I like this salubrious. I would have used maybe the word convivial because I use that in my work, living together. But salubrious is nice too. I use the word convivial, but I haven't thought about it specifically to sounds. Which sounds are convivial? Those that make us live together better as humans. Those that increase our discussion among each other, but also our participation in the music, our dancing, our singing, our playing instruments, maybe improvising. Yeah, and so are there sounds then are convivial? I'm going to write that down. Are there sounds? Sounds that are convivial. Or maybe conviviality of sounds, like degrees of it. I feel like there's a paper there. Encourage those sounds salubrious to human life and will rage against those inimical to it. Rage against the dying of the light. That basically gets you depressed, but rage still and have some spirituality that you can keep yourself alive. Or maybe don't just rage and do rage, but also see the beauty as well and the way forward. It will be more important for him to know about pain thresholds than to be concerned whether the devil still inhabits the tritone. It will be more, it's easy for SCHAFER to say in 1969, right? To throw a little mockery towards the medievals. Maybe the pain thresholds are the diabolos in music. It will be more in his interest to take up membership in the International Society for Noise Abatement than in the local Registered Music Teachers Association. The MTA is a group for pianists, specifically. NAFME is the one for music educators today. Back then it was called MENC. If this suggestion strikes the reader as a joke, I can only hope that the remainder of this booklet will sober him up. For I have come to regard the whole matter of sound prevention as inevitable and urgent. This booklet is not technical. It consists of some preliminary thought excursions along with lines of questions I have just raised. From time to time, some of my first-year university students may get into the act. Why not? They are around me as I write. Okay, so we have a book of sound excursions. We have a little drawing here of a jet airplane and its noise, sound. And we'll start right there on sonic environment next time, chapter 2. Have a blessed day.